Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Martian Memorandum, where the head of the company Terraform appears that his daughter was kidnapped. Alexis Alexander, kidnapped from her father. Well, I guess not from her father, because she probably lives on her own. But she's been kidnapped, and Marshall Alexander wants to track her down. But also something else was missing. Something he refuses to actually specify. But for now, let us travel to Alexis' home. They say money can't buy you happiness, but it sure can scoop up on everything else. I dropped one of Alexander's residents. The one Alexis was staying at before she disappeared. The place makes the Taj Mahal look like the projects. I enter the 10-foot spired iron gate with gilded points. The house isn't even in sight yet as I roll past a forest of flowering shrubs and short trees. Security cameras are everywhere. If Alexis was kidnapped, somebody is definitely asleep at the wheel. The maid at the door has been told I would be coming, and she lets me in. I'm led through a hallway to a chamber of marble and glass to Alexis' room. It all resembles a mausoleum. I feel myself whispering so as not to wake the dead. Okay. This is interesting. What are you on the floor there? A small piece of notepaper with the initials TMS written on it. Can I look at the paper? The pillows don't appears to offer that much comfort lying on the Martian crystal. You move the pillow slightly and notice several baby teeth living under the pillow. It appears that Alexanders neglected some of their parental duties. A king-sized bed with a Martian crystal headboard. The maid has not done a very good job in making the bed. You flip up the corner of the bedspread. A small card file box. The box opens with a click. A small notation is made on a napkin from Wiener World. It says Chancel Vargas, apartment 970. Is this a hint, or could it be miscellaneous scrawling made at the restaurant that serves the biggest weenies in San Francisco? A Fisher Ultimate Remote Room Control. You move a switch on the control panel to change the mood of the room. The mural projects the feeling and ambiance of San Francisco at night without all the red. An ancient piece of Martian sculpture made of Martian alloys. It seems to resemble a horse with a pinhead. The window looks out onto an immaculately kept yard. You see the faint outline of a compartment in the wall. That's F3. You flip the switch. Various women's cosmetics. I will take them with me. You paw quickly through the cosmetics and give up in disgust. There is absolutely nothing in your favorite shades. Various articles of lingerie from Victoria's Secret. Business suits, 24-inch spiked collar, leash, handcuffs, and active sportswear. She keeps it all in one place, a red pair of 6-inch spiked heels. You're already too tall and heels make you walk funny. Shame on you. Do us a favor and just come out of the closet? Oh my gosh, that did not age well. Wow. Alright, was there anything I'm neglecting in here? Control panel, switch, inside box, bed, pepper. Okay, I got it. So let us save Alexis and move on. By the way, in regards to selection, I'm looking at the walkthrough in question, and I'm looking at the location names before choosing where to go. I'm not looking as to what I'm supposed to do in these locations. But the next stop for the walkthrough is Jacques Sparrow. That way, if it turns out I go off course, at the very least, I'm heading in the same direction, so I know where I got off course. Oh, there's beer there. The address of Jacques Sparrow is a 3-story white stucco and glass building designed after the war to be the avant-garde of modern architecture. They failed. It looks too square and the windows need washing. Inside, it's just as dank and sticky as outside. I find a directory on the wall. Jacques Sparrow's office is on the 3rd floor. I ride up the elevator, which smells similar to a cat marking its territory. At the end of the hallway, I see lettering, Jacques Sparrow, on pebbled glass. I knock. No answer. I try the knob, but it's locked. I reach inside my pocket and pop out a tool that makes opening doors a snap. I close the door behind me and look around. The place looks very familiar. An old roll-top desk, swivel chair with a frayed pillow, and a couple of file cabinets. The door might as well have my name on it. The file cabinet was locked, but it was easy to pop open. Inside, some cheap rye, a phone directory, and a manila envelope. There are a number of 8x10 glossies of very young-looking girls in leather. I'm lost in thought when I hear the knob begin to turn. I toss the folder back in the file and spin around. The door opens and in walks a guy who looks like Errol Flynn in The Gay Adventures of Captain Blood. His face is tan and he's slim. When he sees me, his mouth opens and out drops the worst French accent I've ever heard.
Mon Dieu, what the hell are you doing here?
Oh my gosh. And also he has a beret and a goatee and whatever is going on with his hair. It looks pretty quiet here today. Perhaps you could answer some questions. You've got a nice studio. How much for a sitting? This is certainly the right business for a sleazy lowlife like you. I'm going to go with response 2.
You cannot afford me. Try the photographer at Kmart.
That isn't exactly the attitude that made small business the great institution it is today. Listen, doo-doo for brains. Cooperate and I might not have to get tough.
Take your clever repartee and slide out the door.
I'm just getting warmed up. I'm just making a conversation until I think of something nice to say. Oh, I'm just getting warmed up.
Take off, Flatwood. If you need help, call the Salvation Army.
Let's see if there was something else I was supposed to do.
What the hell are you doing here?
Okay, apparently I was supposed to say, this is certainly the right business for sleazy lowlife like you.
And what business are you in?
I'm a private investigator. Yep. I keep expecting you to be able to click the response on the top, but you can only select...
You are nothing but a fake cop.
So I'm not a real cop, and you're not a real crook. You're just a sleazy little greaseball who takes dirty pictures. It's true I'm not a cop, so I'm not subject to the same restrictions. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
I do art. You know, classical stuff.
I took the liberty of looking through your files. I don't think Martian Babes in Bondage will ever rank with Mozart or Bach. Well, considering the fact that neither of those are photographers, maybe that's not what he's kind of being more ambitious towards. But although I guess he did say classical. Maybe if text referred to painters.
Okay, Spunky, get out or I call the cops.
Go ahead, but some of those girls look underage, and if the cops show up, I'll have to show them what you've got in your private files.
Relax, I'll answer questions.
Alright, now I believe I'm told that I can actually offer him money. Oh my gosh, what is...
Mon Dieu, what the hell are you doing here?
All I have is a roll of film to give you. Okay. What does anybody know about Alexander? He's the richest man in the world. That's about it. He's not one that anyone ever gets any information on. Oh, by the way, this is something I especially wanted out of Mean Streets. Instead of having to type everything in, you get a list, and you can just go through the list. No. That's Marshall Alexander's company. What I wouldn't do to own a piece of that action. Or should I do this in a really bad French accent? Because would it really be terrible considering the fact that that's how the character is in the game? Ugh. I know nothing about that. I am a small businessman trying to make a living. I find work, hire models, shoot photos. No, my French accent is really bad. It's no big deal. Some of them might be underage. That's kind of a big deal. The only commercial way to get to Mars. I know nothing about Mac Malden. Chancel used to be one of the top models on the West Coast. Unfortunately, she's become a heavy user of Rush. That drug has really ruined her career. I hardly use her anymore. Ugh. That phrasing, though. I met Alexis when she roomed with Chancel. She's got a pretty face and a gorgeous body. There were a couple of jobs I found that fit her perfectly. I don't care what anybody says, I still don't like you. Alright. Oh, hold on. I've got this roll of film now. Can I put the film in the camera? You snapped the film in place, just like you knew what you were doing. Okay, so it's just like an empty roll of film? Alright. Apparently I can call Stacy. I was not aware of this.
I'll transmit the information.
Marshall Alexander, richest man, company has many successful, diversified companies tied to Martian development. Alexander keeps his corporation veiled in secrecy. Background information prior to 2019. Interesting timing I have in regards to playing this game then. Was lost in the D-Day attack.
I'll transmit the information.
Terraform is Martian Alexander's company. They're specializing in terraforming the Martian planet to build a suitable atmosphere for habitation.
I'll transmit the information.
Rockwell Bach is an attorney. You'll find him in Yes, that was the correct pronunciation.
I'll transmit the address.
Oh, he's a professional photographer. I've already visited him.
I'll transmit the address.
Mac Malden's precinct is on Market Street.
I'll transmit the information.
TMS is the acronym for the Trans-Martian Shuttle. The office is in the old ferry building down on Pier. If you're looking for a way to Mars, you'll have to wait a while. The next one leaves in 4 weeks. Oh.
I'll transmit the information.
Just in case you forgot, Alexis Alexander is the daughter of Marshal Alexander. He hired you to find her. You may want to check with your doctor about Alzheimer's disease.
I'll transmit the information.
You're a San Francisco PI who gained worldwide fame on the Mean Streets case. You also owe me 2 months back wages. Love, Stacy. Ooh.
See you later.
I gotta hand it to Stacy though, if she was able to be kind enough to text office. There we go. Even though he owes her so much money, or maybe he just doesn't pay her very well. But apparently I am actually supposed to use the camera now. That isn't interesting enough to waste film on. Okay. At the very least, that lets me know what I'm supposed to shoot and what I'm not supposed to. Although it would make a nice picture, you may find something more interesting to use your film on. That photo may come in handy someday. Huh. I noticed that when I was moving the camera around, but I still don't know what it means. Like, who am I actually taking pictures of in the low light? And that also has very strong, like, adventure game qualities to it. Because it's like, it'll be useful someday. Oh. There are photos on the floor now. For some reason, I just dropped the photos. Various photos have you recently taken of some sort of transaction taking place in the building across the street. I'm not entirely sure what I'm expected to do with these photos. But I have them. And let us go to Chancel Vargas. Chancel Vargas address is the Hitchcock Building, a huge urban tower near my office downtown. These towers are self-sufficient living spaces that allow the residents of the building to avoid the decay and violence of the inner cities. I ring the bell, and a tired but striking woman with deep, hungry eyes and long, unbrushed brunette hair answers the door. She's young, but there are signs of hard and fast living. Something rings familiar in those features. Then it smacks me. She's the mysterious woman I've seen dancing through the camera lens from my office window. I feel the blood rush to my face. Geez, I hope she doesn't recognize me.
Yeah?
My name is Tex Murphy. I'm a private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Tex Murphy, don't you have an office across from my apartment window?
I don't know what you're talking about. Surely you don't think I would use that camera in my office?
You're the pervert with that telescope.
Do I look like the kind of person who would do that? Now that we have discussed my hobby, the camera doesn't even have a lens in it.
As a matter of fact, you do.
I'm afraid you got me all wrong. Well, who's really at fault here? At least I don't parade around in my lingerie in front of the window.
Drop dead, peeping Tom.
Yeah, I don't think that went well. Okay, what does the game actually expect me to do? Actually, what if I just go back to her?
Yeah?
Offer...
Tex Murphy, don't you have an office across from my apartment window?
Surely you don't think I would use that camera in my office.
You are the peeping Tom. I ought to slap your face.
Wait a second, before you get any ideas, watching you dance isn't the only thing I've seen happen in your apartment.
What does that mean?
Photos. Alright, ask your questions. Ask about... Alexis' father is a very rich and powerful man, but that did not impress her. Alexis didn't want his help, but she couldn't shake him completely. In the last little while, Alexis started getting very resentful towards her father. That's the company Alexis' father owns. I know nothing. You'd like him, Murphy. He's a raunchy little man with a camera who likes to see women in compromising positions. He's a lot like you. Ooh. That is, that is a little bit, no, they're very different, him and I. Everybody knows about the shuttle. It's how you get to Mars. Duh. I know nothing about that. Look, I'm a damn good model, but lately I've been partying too much. I got kind of strung out and it's starting to show. Alexis is a good kid. She's prettier than me, but I'm easier. For the right guy, not you. I've got no idea where she's gone, but it was probably with that tall, dumb, greasy actor, Rick Logan. If you see her, tell her I'm sorry. I think you're a disgusting peeping Tom. I mean... she's not necessarily wrong. And let's stop by, as requested by the walkthroughs, the Jacques again.
What the hell are you doing here?
It's interesting how the dialogue responses are still the same every time. It's almost as if it's like that part of the conversation is always kind of baked in, even though you don't necessarily have to go through it again. I was going to ask about Rockwell Bosch? No. Rick Logan. You say he's an actor? Maybe Alexis met him when she did some work for Galactic Pictures. Galactic Pictures is a third-rate film company. They specialize in cheap exploitation thrillers. I did some publicity work for them. Alexis did some work there too. They're also the same studio that came up with Joltovision. The process of wiring theater chairs with electrodes to increase the intensity of the film experience. Last year in LA, they smoked and fried 20 patrons in their seats. Needless to say, they've got some legal problems. Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.